The Newsline.
Hello and welcome back to People's TV. On Sunday, Israel welcomed one of its strongest allies from across the Atlantic, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. His visit wasn't just political, it was symbolic. Israeli journalist Barak Ravid, reporting for Axios, Channel 12 News, and CNN, confirmed that Rubio made a powerful stop at the Western Wall during his tour. Once again, the message is loud and clear: the bond between Israel and the United States isn't just strong, it's unshakable. Israel is standing at one of the most decisive moments in its modern history. After the strike on Hamas leadership in Qatar, the usual chorus of international critics rushed to condemn Israel, hiding behind the excuse of violating Qatari sovereignty while conveniently ignoring the terror masters sheltered there. It is in the middle of this global outrage that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio set foot in Israel. This is no routine diplomatic visit, it is a direct challenge to Israel's detractors and a bold statement that America stands shoulder to shoulder with the Jewish state, no matter who raises their voice against it. The message is crystal clear: Israel will not bow, and America will not blink. Speaking of Qatar's sovereignty, the old saying comes to mind: lie with the dogs and wake up with ticks. That is exactly the situation Qatar finds itself in today. A nation cannot posture as a broker of peace and ceasefires while simultaneously giving sanctuary to terrorists. History has shown us this story before. Pakistan, under Musharraf, allowed Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of 9/11, to hide undetected for years within its borders. Whether through incompetence or complicity, the fact remains that he was eliminated by U.S. forces on Pakistani soil without permission or advance warning. Israel's action in Qatar follows the same precedent. When states choose to harbor terror, they forfeit the privilege of crying foul over sovereignty. Unconfirmed reports suggest that Khalil al-Hayya may have survived the recent strike, but his top aide and his son were not so lucky. Prime Minister Netanyahu wasted no words, declaring that Khalil will be hunted down, even if Israel missed its mark this time. He called out Hamas leadership as the greatest barrier to any negotiations or the release of hostages, accusing them of repeatedly breaking promises and using false excuses to avoid talks. By holding on to the hostages, Hamas makes it clear they care more about leverage over Israel than human lives, proving once again that negotiations with terror leaders are futile when their only goal is power. Israel's Energy Minister Eli Cohen echoed this stance, declaring that the terrorists are not invisible to Israel. "We have our eyes on them," he warned, emphasizing that it is only a matter of time before Israel's reach extends to them, wherever they may be in the world. The message is clear: no corner of the globe can hide those who threaten Israel, and Israel's determination to act is relentless. Reports indicate that the terrorist leaders are gripped by fear of death following the strike in Qatar and are scrambling to find refuge elsewhere. The sudden and lethal Israeli airstrike, carried out when it was least expected, shattered the confidence Hamas had in Qatar as a safe haven. Now, in a state of panic, Hamas is reportedly eyeing countries like Algeria, Malaysia, and Mauritania as potential hideouts, desperate to escape the reach of Israel's relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, Egypt continues to signal its determination to defend Hamas leaders and provide them refuge. A more significant development is emerging from the Arab nation. Egypt has proposed the creation of an Arab League modeled on NATO. The concept envisions a collective defense program, where member states would come to the aid of any nation under attack, just as NATO allies do. Reports suggest that almost all Arab nations are seriously considering this plan, potentially setting the stage for a unified response against Israel if any member state faces aggression in the future. Egypt has a long history of taking bold military and political stances against Israel. In 1968, it rallied 6 other Arab nations and declared war on the Jewish state. That determination to confront Israel seems deeply ingrained. Recently, Egypt was the first nation to condemn Israel's strike on Qatar, clearly signaling that it would not stand aside if its own territory were threatened. Reports indicate that Egypt warned Israel against attacking its soil or the Hamas leaders sheltering there, implying serious consequences if the warning was ignored. Egypt should take note: even if the entire Arab League rallies against Israel, the Jewish state will not flinch. Israel is the only nation in the Middle East with nuclear weapons and maintains an unbreakable alliance with the United States. Any country daring to challenge Israel must first reckon with America. This does not mean Israel relies on U.S. support to act. History proves otherwise. Israel struck Iran on its own, with America joining only in the final phase. The message is unmistakable: Israel's strength, independence, and resolve are forces that no adversary should underestimate. Israel has carried out strikes against Iran at least 3 times and launched multiple operations in Iraq in a similar fashion. History demonstrates that Israel has repeatedly confronted threats on its own, proving its capability and resolve. Meanwhile, Bezalel Smotrich, Israel's finance minister, has criticized the government for responding weakly to decisions by Canada, France, the UK, and other Western nations. According to him, these countries often take stances against Israel, yet the Israeli government fails to assert itself strongly, especially on issues involving the sovereignty of Palestine. Smotrich insists that Israel must respond decisively to protect its national interests and uphold its dignity on the international stage. Turning from the Middle East to the West, Erika Kirk is not stepping softly, she's taking the reins. Vowing to carry forward Turning Point and Prove Me Wrong, the movement and debate show her late husband, Charlie Kirk, built into a global powerhouse, Erika is ready to amplify their influence like never before. The Trump administration is expected to stand firmly behind her. The world has been waiting, wondering who could fill Charlie's shoes, and Erika has sent a clear message: she will not just fill them, she will own them, dominate the stage, and make sure Charlie's legacy hits harder than ever. If this report helped you see the situation on the ground clearly, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to People's TV, where truth has no agenda, and facts speak louder than spin.
Subscribe us for more details.